What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You have to excuse my voice and excuse my cough too, because I'm still struggling with this whole sickness thing, but it's okay. We'll be all right. What I wanted to do was take a moment and share a cleaning tip with you today. We're going to clean our camera. Now, no, it's not what you think. We're not going to clean the outside of the camera. Of course, that's important. Yeah, we want to do all that. But today we're going to focus on cleaning the inside of the camera. And I know you're looking like, inside, why do we have to clean the inside? Well, actually, if you take pictures and you've ever noticed perhaps some spots that are on your pictures, not heavy spots, not really bad spots, but spots that once you put them in your editing software, perhaps you've taken a picture of clouds or you've taken a picture of a white wall, and you see these dark spots, like, what in the world is that? And you know, you've cleaned the front of your lens already. You know it's nothing on your lens. What in the world is going on? Well, actually, those spots can be coming from the inside of the camera. They're actually coming from the sensor itself. And over time, because of this, if you have a digital SLR camera or a mirrorless camera like this one, this is the Sony a6000. If you over time, because we take the lenses on and off like this, dust tends to get inside on that sensor. You see that in there? That's where when the dust collects on that, eventually, if it's bad enough, that will begin to show up on your pictures. And, you know, it can be edited out, of course, while you're doing editing, but who wants to keep editing those things out every single picture that you do? That's going to get time consuming. So it's best to try to handle it as quickly as possible. One way to minimize the dust in the first place is to, whenever you change your lens, some tips if you hadn't thought about it, when you change your lens, to try to do it in an environment where it's not so windy. That way, when you take this lens off, you know, the dust won't blow inside of it. Dust is dust, okay? Dust is going to find its way in somehow. But again, there's ways you can minimize it. Also, if you're changing it in an environment, maybe a beach environment or something, you might almost come out better if you can try to choose the lens that you're going to use at the beach, because you know there's a lot of wind out there. You choose the lens that you think you're going to use the most, the lens that you could possibly use only, like one lens, and just keep that on the camera. That way you don't have to worry about anything blowing inside. You know, that's going to help minimize the chances of dust getting inside as well. So we'll take this in steps and we'll show the best ways to handle getting dust off of that sensor. All right, so here's the first step I highly suggest you take before doing anything else, before getting into any drastic measures. Get yourself a rocket blower. Yes, that's literally what they call it, a rocket blower. I know it looks like one of the things you use for a baby to like squeeze their syringe, their nose or something like that, suck out their nose. It actually feels good when you're hot too. You know, you're out there shooting in a summer day, a hot summer day, and you're trying to cool down, waiting on your client to change their clothes and stuff like that. You could just walk around just blowing yourself off like this. It's really cool. Okay, but that's not what it's designed for. But anyway, you can use it for that, though. You really can. You can use it for that. I'm just saying. So that's the rocket blower. You can also, they may have different names, but just Google rocket blower and it'll come up. Okay. But this is for cleaning camera sensors. All right. So all we simply do is use this, and that's what it does. It blows air. It blows it out pretty strong too. So to use this, all we simply do is take this. And remember our camera sensor on the inside of this. Remember, the dust is collected on the sensor itself. Okay, that little shiny part that looks like a piece of glass in there. That's what we want to get our rocket blower. Don't touch it. Okay, don't stick it in there. Don't touch that sensor. That's not what you want to do. But you do want to hold your camera upside down like this. Okay, hold your camera like this, and the rocket blower or your camera blower air thingy tool, whatever, you end up Googling it and finding out that yours is called something different. You just take this, and since we've got it pointing down, everything we blow, we want it to fall out, right? So we just take this and just point it into the camera and just squeeze. And just try to squeeze it all over that sensor. It's just air. You're not killing it, okay? It's just air. Just squeeze it. And you're just blowing around, blowing around, blowing around. Blow as much as you want. You can look at your sensor if you want to and see it, if you can physically see any dust on there. If you do see a little something, you can blow it again. And many of these cameras, and I have to say this, okay, before you do this step, you can actually go into your menu. A lot of these cameras actually have where they do a self-cleaning. You just go into the menu and click clean sensor, and it does this, a lot of them do like a really, really fast vibration where they're trying to shake the dust off of the sensor. Some of them do okay, and some maybe not so okay, not so okay. It kind of mixed opinions on how well that works, but it is an option that's built in some of the cameras. So you might want to go through your menu, see if you have that as an option too, because you can do that first before you actually go to this air blowing rocket tool type thingy to blow your sensor. So we'll blow this a few more times. And again, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm blowing all the corners. Again, don't stick it in the camera. You don't have to. Trust me, when you get this, you'll realize there's plenty of air coming out of this thing. Just blow it in there. Do not, okay, as I'm doing this, you see how close I am? No, don't stick it in the camera. You don't have to, y'all. Just blow it. That's all you have to do. All right, so that part is done. One thing I like to do also, anytime I take my lens off, the back of the lens, you know, that portion with all the contacts that connects to your camera, you just blew the dust off of your camera, so why not blow this off also, right? So I'll blow that a little bit too, and then I'll just reattach that to the camera. Line that back up, lock it in place, and we're done. Of course, I can take some more pictures, see if I see any dust left over. If I got all the dust off and I don't see many of those little spots, and I'm not talking about, you know, maybe one tiny itty bitty spot, you know, maybe two itty bitty spots that you can barely see. If that doesn't bother, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about when the dust gets pretty bad inside, and you'll know because you'll start seeing dots in your pictures like, what in the world is going on here? So that being said, there is another step that we can take toward cleaning. But before we go to the next step, I do want to mention something. Okay, I know somebody is thinking, hey, all you have to do is get that can of compressed air and use that as a tool to clean your sensor. Don't do that. Don't do that. What they have inside of that can of compressed air that you get, that you might, you know, spray your computer keyboard off or all those times. Don't spray that on your camera sensor. The camera sensor, it's way too delicate. All of the stuff inside it, it's way too delicate to be hit with anything that might accidentally come out of that can. So don't do that. Even if it's just a tiny bit of liquid that sprays out, it can literally cause you more trouble than what you want. Okay, so let's move to the next and last way that we'll clean our sensor. All right, so finally, again, we've blown our sensor off, okay? I'm gonna take this off, and I'm only keeping this off for teaching purposes, okay? My camera never sits this long without a lens on it, but I have to show this while we're cleaning, right? So finally, the last way that we're gonna clean is we're actually going to clean the sensor itself physically with some swabs. Not cotton swabs. Please don't clean it with cotton swab. Not the regular, like cotton swabs you use in your ears and all that kind of, no, don't use that. Don't, please don't use that, okay? They make cleaning swabs specifically for your cameras. And I know some people are really nervous about cleaning their sensors with those swabs. When it comes to touching the sensor, like that's a sensitive area. That's a sensitive subject. Like, oh no, you're not supposed to touch the sensor. No. Trust me, it's okay. It's okay. Take your time, all right, like anything else. Just take your time. Be really, really gentle with it, and you'll be fine. But these, I ordered these from Amazon. These are called the Elin. Can you see that? EYLIN, Elin sensor cleaning swabs. You notice with these, it actually it's a wet one and a dry one. And I'll show you those. Here's the wet one, and this is what the swab looks like, okay? And this is the dry one. Same thing, same swab. It's just when you get this system, notice it said wet and dry. So the wet one is already pre-moistened with, they say with the right amount of liquid on it, that's fine. And the dry one is the one that you'll come up with second. So what we'll do is these have already been used. So once you use these and you make a pass on your sensor with this, you do not want to use it again. Okay, consider that swab done. I'm sure somebody's probably done it. Somebody will probably say, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, cameras cost too much. Sensors cost too much. It's not worth it. Don't take any chances in accidentally scratching that sensor. Trust me, it's a whole lot better, you know, to just get a new swab and just do it all over again if you felt like you didn't clean it properly the first time. So what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll show you how we actually clean that using those swabs. All right. So here we have our cleaning swabs. And see if we can take these out. What's nice is you can see inside the box. This other way. They come separated. One side is wet, one side is dry. So we'll grab one of each. At least we'll try to. This one is the wet one. And we'll come to the other side. This one, no, I grabbed it from the same side again. What was I doing? This side. No, that's a wet one too. Hey, where's my dry one at? There it is. Okay, I knew it was in there. There it is. All right, so now we have both. I think I mixed them up when I pulled that divider out. All right, so now we have our system. We have wet and dry, okay? So all we'll do is we'll break these open. That's that one. And here's our dry one. And we'll take our camera. Let's see if we can get a decent angle. On how to clean these. Okay. All right, so that's our sensor in there, right? So all we'll do, we have our wet one. Rip this open. See if we can drag this out. And once you take these swabs out, I'm gonna pull that one halfway out. And I wanna go ahead and get my dry one ready also. So I'm gonna pull that one halfway out. That way I'm not struggling with the paper, the packaging like I'm struggling right now. I'm not struggling with it as I'm cleaning. All right, so I'll leave that one halfway out. So that way I'll be able to go, you know, after I clean it with the wet one, I'll be able to immediately clean it with the dry one. Okay. All right, so hopefully camera, stay in focus. Stay in focus now. All right, so we'll take the wet one out. And this is the APS-C sized swab, so it fits the sensor perfectly, the size of it. Are we losing focus here? Stop it. Stop going out of focus. Okay, that looks like that might be in focus. Okay, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna go down on the sensor. Don't push down hard. Please don't push down hard. But you have to put just a tiny bit of pressure because you wanna pull the dust off, right? So all we're gonna do is go across the sensor. Why does it keep wanting to go out of focus? I try to twist it so I can show it to you all. There we go, let's try that. Just go across the sensor, slight angle, and just drag it across. Once I get to the end, take it out, spin it around in the same direction with the wet one. I'm using the other side, the clean side. Same direction. I'm gonna go across the sensor one more time. Not a lot of pressure, just dragging it enough. Boom, and that's done. So now I'm gonna throw that one to the side. Now we're gonna take our dry one out. And I'm gonna go in the exact same direction with the dry one. Same motion. At an angle, drag it to the side, just like that. Uh-oh, you can't see me, can you? There we go. And I did the same thing. Spun it around using the clean side. Put it at the corner of the sensor. Don't push down real hard, just a little bit. Keep it at an angle and sweep across the sensor just like this. All the way to the corner, okay? And that's it, and drag it out. That's literally it. That's it. After you clean it, I'm set that one to the side. And after you clean it, again, you just pick it up, visually look at it, see if you can see anything on the sensor. Remember, don't go across it with the swab. Oh, I missed a spot, and keep scrubbing. No, don't do that. Literally, one pass. Rotate it around, one pass. That's it. That's what the wet one. With the dry one, really come across one pass. And then when you get to the end, spin it around, drag it across one more pass. That's it. That's it. Don't keep trying to scrub all the corners and all that. No, it's not necessary. Not necessary. Don't do that. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay. All right. So that's our wet and our dry swabs. So I looked at my sensor. This sensor looks really, really good now. To me, it's perfectly clean now. I know you may not be able to see it on camera, but it's really clean. I can literally see a smudge mark around it at first, like right in the center of it. And after cleaning it, it cleaned right up. So that's how you clean it. If there's any questions, please feel free to type in the comments below. If you have any questions about this, don't be nervous. You know, the other option, if you're a little nervous about doing it this way, you can simply send it in to your manufacturer. Send it into a camera company. They'll clean it for you. Nothing wrong with that if you don't feel comfortable doing it. But literally, that's it. Oh, the other thing I want to mention real quick is, remember, this particular system that we just used, this is the system that already has pre-moistened swabs on it. You can also purchase swabs that are not pre-moistened, and you simply put a couple of drops on the swab. Just follow the directions. You'll put a couple of drops on the swab on the end of it, and you'll go through the same process that we went through today, and then you use a dry swab to do the exact same thing. Some of them may have you put liquid on one side, you go down with it wet on one side, and you flip it around onto the dry side and come down. Different sensor cleaning companies that make these swabs, they do it different ways, but this is the one that we use today. So again, this is the Elan sensor cleaning swab kit, the wet and dry system, and that's what we used. Remember, this was for the APS-C sensor systems. The APS-C, which you can see back here on the barcode, APS-C. Is that going to lie? There it is. There you can see it. APS-C, meaning that's what this is. It's a crop sensor camera. If you have a full frame camera, let me make sure I can say that clearly. If you have a full frame camera, like the other one that we have, then the swab is going to be a little bit bigger, because remember, you want to be able to cover that sensor with one swipe. That's all you want to do. You want to be able to cover it with one swipe. Please be sure to like this video, like, subscribe, make comments in the blog. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. And guess what? The best part about it is it doesn't cost you a dime to do it. So please subscribe to the channel. Please think about it. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.